This presentation reviews the syllabus for Social Work 524, Human Diversity and Social Justice. Again, my name is Jill Mannett, and I'm your professor this semester. At the top of your syllabus, you'll find course details. This includes my phone number. It is okay to call or text me. I just ask that you leave your name and which course you're in, and that will allow me to better assist you. Same thing with my email address. You're welcome to email me at any time. And again, just provide your name and which course you're in. One thing I want to show you that I'm excited about is that I use Microsoft Bookings to schedule appointments. This allows you to, at any time, schedule an appointment on your own. So what you do is you click on the link. It's going to take you to the Microsoft Bookings website. You will first select a service. So most of you will use this course assistance service, but at the end of the semester or towards the end of the semester, as you're working in your groups, I will ask each group to meet with me for at least 30 minutes to review your project, at which time your group can also use this website to schedule your group project meeting with me. So once you select your service, then you can go down and select the day and time. All you need to do is pick the date that you would like to meet with me at, and then you'll find a list of available times, and you can just select the time that you'd like to meet me at. Now, one thing that's important is that all the times default to Eastern time zone. If you reside in another time zone, it will be important that you change this to reflect your local time zone. So if you reside somewhere in the Central time zone, you would select it and you'll see that the times automatically change according to your local time zone. This is the feature that I think is most valuable with Microsoft Bookings, as it allows me to work with students across the nation and internationally as well. Once you select your day and time for the appointment, you're going to scroll down to the bottom and just provide some additional details, including your contact information. If you want me to call you, please put the phone number that you want me to call you at, and then any details you might have about the question that you're asking, and that will allow me to prepare for our phone call. I also want you to select if you prefer to meet by phone or by WebEx. It's always nice to meet by WebEx because we get to see each other in real time, which helps you to feel a little more connected to me as your instructor and to your program. And then finally, you'll select the course that you have a question on. And then you select book to confirm the appointment, and it will send me a notice that you have scheduled an appointment. It will also send us reminders for the meeting time as well, which is a great feature of this program. So again, you can use that at any time to schedule an appointment with me if you have questions about the class or any feedback that you received from me. I hold my office hours via WebEx, and you all should be familiar with WebEx because it's the same program you used to participate in your interview for admission to our program. Now, I want you to read through all the details of this course, but I want to just highlight a few things. Every syllabus is going to have learning objectives. These are the objectives that we want you to achieve by the end of the course. We link those objectives to the Social Work, Council on Social Work Education's competencies that are required for social work programs. And we also note the dimensions of your learning that are addressed by that objective. So for example, in this case, the K stands for knowledge, the V stands for values. Down here, the K stands for knowledge and the S stands for skills. So we will be working on skill development for that particular learning objective. The CA in learning objectives stands for cognitive and affective processes. This is basically how you think about issues as well as your emotional response to certain issues. I'm available for consultation at any time. I've included multiple ways to contact me and schedule appointments at the top of the syllabus, as well as the Meet Your Instructor section in Blackboard. I do highly recommend that you utilize Purdue's online writing lab for support in writing and APA formatting, as we take writing pretty seriously in our program. and you will get a lot of feedback from me about your writing. Now, I don't proofread and correct papers, but I do let you know if you're unclear in your communication, if you're not using enough critical thinking skills, and if you have errors in your APA formatting. All of your assignments, unless otherwise noted, are due by essentially midnight on the due date that's noted in the syllabus. I do allow in this course one absence from a discussion, and the way that I handle this is basically at the end of the semester, I will change the grade for a discussion in which you are absent from 0 to exempt. And this cannot be used to replace your lowest score in the discussions. It's only intended to basically give you a free absence from one of the discussions. As I mentioned, all of our papers require APA formatting. I highly recommend that you become familiar with OWL at Purdue or purchase the APA 6th edition manual, as it offers a lot of writing tips in addition to formatting support. Now, one thing I want to point out is that the APA does recommend Times New Roman as the preferred font style, but I will accept papers with Arial or Calibri fonts, as these are generally accepted as accessible fonts for individuals with a disability. Your syllabus also breaks down the weighting of all of your assignments and how they contribute to your overall grade, and then how final letter grades are assigned. Now, it's very critical that you are aware and stay on top of your grades because you cannot receive lower than a B in this course. So you cannot receive lower than an 83% in this class. Otherwise, that's considered failing, and you'll have to retake the class, and your progression in the program will be compromised. So again, you must get an 83 or above in order to pass this class. We have resources listed in each syllabus if you do find yourself struggling. I just highly encourage each of you to reach out to me if you feel like you're starting to fall behind or struggle in your class. I'd be happy to connect you with these resources and connect you with your advisors so that they may support you as well. Reviewing some of the assignments and important dates. Each week you'll have 1 to 2 online discussions. Your initial post for the discussion is always going to be due on Wednesday by midnight. And then I want you to reply to at least 2 of your peers by Friday at midnight. So you can expect that for your weekly assignments. Then there's the professional behaviors rubric. Now, sometimes students get confused on this. In week 1, you're going to be asked to just review this rubric. You do not have to complete it. We just want you to open it, look over the rubric so that you understand what professional behaviors are expected and how you'll be assessed at the end of the semester. So at the end of the semester, you'll see this professional behaviors rubric come up again. That's the time that you'll complete it, and I'll assign your final grade on this rubric at that time. You're going to be completing a bi-weekly journal. There's a lot of evidence that suggests that students who participate in journals and self-reflective exercises are more successful integrating their knowledge and skill development. And so we have you do a journal every other week. In the week that it's due, you'll find in the learning activities the journal prompt and a link to the journal. So you'll just go in there and respond to the prompt. Your journal grade is assigned at the end of the semester, but around the midpoint of the semester, I will give you a tentative grade so that you can see where you're at so far on the journals, and then they'll be updated at the end of the semester. Now you have 2 big assignments in this class. One is the social justice assessment. This is an assignment that you do on your own, where you will identify a social justice issue of interest to you, and then you're going to conduct research on that issue, and you will identify and contact a local agency or organization that addresses that issue. Now, it's very critical that you don't put off this assignment to the last minute, because many students have a difficult time actually making contact with an organization and having them respond in time for the student to conduct the visit. So you'll need to get going on that pretty soon and not wait to the last minute. Many students will have to contact 2 or 3 agencies in order to finally get a contact back from an agency. Please do visit the Save the Date section in the SWAY presentation, as I will be holding a live session to review this assignment further. Also, your social change group project. A few weeks into the semester, around week 7, I will assign you to groups of 3 to 5 students. At that time, you'll get together with your group and you'll identify a social justice issue and create a social change project to address that issue. You're going to be writing a paper as well as doing a creative multimedia presentation to highlight your project and any resources that you created. Again, please see the Save the Date section in the SWAY presentation, as I will also hold a live session to review this assignment as well. Moving on, the final stage of the syllabus is the course outline and reading assignments. And just to review it quickly, you'll see that there's the week number. So we are starting in week 1 right now. It discusses the topic for the week as well as the assignments that are due. Now, it's important to note that this is just noting the assignments that are due, but please be sure each week in Blackboard, when you click on the week, you'll see a to-do list. And you want to review that to-do list because there are other activities that you'll participate in during the week that aren't necessarily assignments that are due. So be sure that you visit that weekly to-do list and your learning activities section in Blackboard to stay on top of all the material that's required for the course. You'll see here in week 2, you have your first journal entry due. So again, when you're in week 2, you click on learning activities and then you'll find a link to the journal with the prompt. Now scrolling down, you'll see all of your assignments again each week, and highlighting the week that is the spring break. And so during that week, the discussion will be optional. I do encourage you to continue working on your materials during spring break, especially because your social justice assessment is due the following week. Now, I just want to highlight at the end of the semester, your discussion post has a little bit of a different due date, and that's just because the timing of the semester. And so I will be sure to reach out to you all to remind you of that change in due date. So it's due on Tuesday instead of Wednesday for that week. And again, I'll send out reminders for that material. So I use weekly announcements to highlight some things that are due and to give you tips and tricks for getting through the material that week. But I highly recommend that you print out this syllabus so that you can keep it handy and stay on top of the assignments that are due each week, as sometimes it can get a little confusing for students. If you have any questions, I encourage you to post them in the Ask the Instructor section, in particular because questions about the syllabus are usually helpful for other students to hear you ask and see my response. So again, if you have questions about the syllabus, I highly encourage you to post them in the Ask the Instructor section of Blackboard. And that concludes the presentation on the syllabus overview for Social Work 524.